Yo, what up, fam? Hopefully you brushed your teeth this morning. If you didn't, this is not the toothpaste for you. So, anyway, elephant toothpaste, here we go. We are going to be using yeast as a catalyst for a chemical reaction. The yeast will just speed up the reaction. It's not actually part of the reaction because hydrogen peroxide will actually separate into water and oxygen on its own. But the yeast is going to speed it up. So we call that a catalyst. So here's the yeast we're using. We're going to stir it in with some water to activate the yeast. Warm water helps the best. You can see here, stirring up that yeast to get it ready and active. Like I said, there's only one reactant. It's just the hydrogen peroxide, and it actually splits into water and oxygen on its own, but the yeast is going to help us speed up that process. So here we're going to measure out 50 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide and pour it into the Erlenmeyer flask. So here we're using the graduated cylinder and then pouring it into an Erlenmeyer flask. All right, we're also going to add some soap because the soap acts like a balloon. It traps the gas. The soap is going to foam up if gas is produced. Now, before the reaction, we actually have to take the temperature of these two substances. So here the yeast is 63.5 degrees and the hydrogen peroxide is 61.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to add in some food coloring to make this more dramatic and a little more colorful. And here's our two solutions. So we're going to take these outside to see what happens when we add the yeast, which is a catalyst, into the hydrogen peroxide, which is now that blue solution. So here goes the yeast into the solution. You can watch as this chemical reaction takes place. The foam that we see is actually the soap that's trapping the gas that's produced in this chemical reaction. Now, if we look at the temperature, here you can see that the temperature is getting up to about 71.5 degrees. Some groups that did this got their temperature to go all the way up to close to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see this chemical reaction continues to take place. It's all puffy and poofy like toothpaste. And there you have it, elephant toothpaste.